Hello YouTube. I had a friend recently bought his very first handgun and he had some questions for me as far as the size and what to use for home defense. And actually I wanted to talk about that a little bit. Here on the table we have four pistols that are representative of their kind of class of sizes, full size compact, subcompact, very small subcompact and whatnot. So we can kind of go through and see, so I can help you figure out what may be best for you. These are the handguns I chose, but maybe you've already narrowed it down to maybe you want a compact or you want a subcompact. So I wanted to show you guys how these look compared to each other. So again, these are very representative of popular handguns out there, popular sizes. The first we're going to go with is the Glock 19. This is the Glock 19 Generation 4. This one has the forward serrations. It's a model that came out shortly before the Generation 5. Glock has 5 generations of these in varying different models. But again, this is very indicative, representative of these compact size of handguns. These would be considered like a duty weapon, a service weapon. This is very good for home defense. You have longer barrel guns you can call full size. This has roughly a 4-inch barrel. Full size would be 4.2, 4.5, 5 inches or longer. You can relegate those to home defense only. But one of the reasons Glock 19 is very popular, because not only is it a good home defense handgun, it's also a very good gun to carry. I've carried this for years, not just this particular gun, but this size, this class of guns, a double stack 9mm with a roughly 4-inch barrel. I've had other models from other manufacturers, but I always go back to Glock. But this is a double stack 9mm. They pretty much all come, when you're talking about a double stack 9mm, they all pretty much come in this particular size. Little thick, over an inch in width, about I believe 5 inches in height, roughly, give or take. This holds 15 rounds plus 1 in the chamber, so you have 16 rounds of stopping power. One of the good things about this particular size of gun, and when you're buying a gun in, let's say, a series, if you have a Smith & Wesson M&P, they come in 3 different sizes, full, compact, subcompact. The advantage of buying things like that is that the magazines are interchangeable. So this one, go ahead and show you that is empty. Nothing in there. Okay, so you have 15 rounds plus 1. If I wanted to, I can insert the Glock 17 round magazine in here, and it'll just stick out just a tiny bit. I've had that before. Some people would carry the 17 round magazines with like a sleeve cover or an extension or whatever. Or you can go all crazy and put the 33 round Glock magazine in there. That's the advantage of buying a gun in a series, that the same model gun, just different sizes. You can interchange the magazines. I don't generally use this gun for home defense anymore. I have rifles for that. But if you were in the market for a compact size, service size pistol for home defense, this is a great choice. It can also be used, again, as your concealed carry gun. In a good holster, this is not bad at all. Like I said, I carried this gun for years, or this size gun for years. Generally not a problem. You do get a little bit of printing, and when I say printing, meaning like, let's say for instance, if I had this under my shirt and I've bent a certain way, the butt of the handle is usually what prints, meaning you can see the shape from the outside of your shirt. But for the most part, I never had any problem. You just have to be aware that when you're reaching up or down, or just move in where your shirt might slip up, just be aware of that. You kind of learn to change your habits a little bit. But again, this is a compact size, technically a compact size handgun. I would consider it maybe in between, because the handle is almost a full-size handle. For me, with medium-sized hands, I can get all of my fingers on that. No problem. Comfortable to shoot this gun all day at the range. Doesn't hurt. No problems at all. Little thick in the slide and the grip, but again, People have been carrying this size guns inside the waist for many, many, many years. So do I advocate for one of these? Sure. If this is the only gun you're going to use for home protection and your own personal self-defense, concealed carry, absolutely. Not these size guns are perfect for that. Again, you get the 15 rounds plus one, give or take, depending on the manufacturer and model. Some are 14, some are 16. Roughly about this size. Comfortable to carry. However, they do get a little bit long in the tooth if you carry them all day. A little bit heavier. You do feel that handle every now and then. So just something to be aware of. This can play two roles: carry gun, home defense gun. Wanted to give you the general dimensions, just the look and feel of it in medium-sized hands right here. Next up we have is the Glock 43X. This is I believe, introduced a year or two ago. I don't recall the exact time, but very recently, this was the second, not a second generation, but this was a second model of the 43 lineup. The 43 also being a single stack 9mm, holds 6 rounds plus 1 in the chamber. The 43X came in with a little bit longer handle where they can fit 10 rounds in the magazine versus the 6 of the regular 43. You have about the same length in slide, I believe, but a little bit longer length in the handle. Again, this from here to here, the height is the same as the Glock 19. Again, I can fit all of my fingers around there, no problem. Very comfortable to hold, very comfortable to carry. Let me show you the magazine. This is a 10-rounder magazine. This is not a double stack magazine. This is a single stack, meaning each bullet is right on top of each other. Okay, and I'll show you that it's unloaded. None of these guns here are loaded, but anyway. So maybe you don't want a compact double stack pistol for your home defense or your concealed carry. Hey, if I can get away with 10 rounds and I can retreat to, let's say, my car or someplace safe, this kind of gun fits the bill for me perfectly. Plus, it's a little bit lighter. I can carry 2 magazines, whereas normally when I carried the Glock 19, I only carried the 1 magazine with 15 rounds. But here, 10 rounds, lighter overall, thinner overall is another big thing. It's the 19 is about 0.8 inches, almost an inch longer, but you can see the difference in the slide width. When I tell you the numbers, the width, the 19 is 1.26 inches versus the 43X is 1.1. Yeah, when you look at that, that's 0.16, not a huge difference, but when you carry it next to your body, you can feel a difference. For me, this is much more comfortable carrying every day. And I still get the full grip here on my hand. Very comfortable. Would I shoot 100 rounds through this at the range? Absolutely, no problem. Is it less comfortable to shoot 100 rounds in the 43X versus the 19? Yeah, the 19 is a fuller size grip. Be a little bit more comfortable to shoot that all day if you're gonna do hundreds of rounds. But for self-defense, this one leans more towards the realm of self-defense versus home or nightstand duties. But you can certainly use this one for both. If you only have so much money to purchase one gun and you wanted a do-all type of gun, absolutely. Glock 43X with 10 rounds should fit the bill just fine. With this being a self-defense carry gun, it's lighter, thinner, still has a good grip. 10 rounds, not so bad. Still light enough where you can carry another 10 rounds. Very good choice for home defense. This one leans more on the side of self-defense versus home defense, but still capable of doing both. My philosophy is I stick with Glock mags. 99.9% reliability with Glock mags. The problems you have in Glocks are usually from aftermarket mags. So any of these guns on the table here, I use only factory mags. If they're less than some of the others, that's fine. but I know for 99.9% sure that these mags will run properly in each gun. Next, we'll move to a very popular one. This is a Taurus G3C. This is a double stack subcompact, and I use that term loosely because the actual overall height of the gun is actually 5 inches. It's just about the same as a Glock 19. They are pretty much on par as far as height goes. The Glock 19, G19 has about a 4-inch barrel, whereas the 3GC has a 3.2-inch barrel. So this is in the realm of a subcompact, something you would carry a little bit deeper than one of these. With the only exception of this grip, again, it's no bigger or no smaller than some of these other guns. But overall length is shorter. Something like this with the pinky extension. Again, I'll show you that it's unloaded. With this pinky extension or finger rest, you can, again, a medium-sized hand, get a full grip on this. Relatively nice. Taurus did a pretty good job with the stippling texture here. Very nice, aggressive, just aggressive enough to hold it in place. The actual size and width, the dimensions here are pretty nice. It's very comfortable to hold. You have thumb rests here. You have what you call Taurus memory pads. People make fun of these, but they're memory pads, so you can index your thumb on there if you like, or if you're on the trigger finger side, index your trigger finger here. Keep your finger off the trigger. Again, one of the neat features of them. This is a what considered a high value gun. Of the 4 guns here on the table, this is coming in at the least expensive. I wouldn't call this a cheap gun. There's certainly other guns in this price range, $250 to $300, that I would consider cheap, but this is a high value gun. A lot of same features the Glocks have. The easy takedown pins, slide release, the trigger safety here, internal firing pin safety, drop safety. But this one holds 12 rounds versus, say, a G43X holds 10 rounds. So here you have 12 rounds of stopping power plus 1, so 13 rounds total, in a package that is a little bit on the heavy side. It's not much lighter than, let's say, this, a Glock 19 with 16 rounds. Is a give or take 30 ounces or so, depending on your bullet weight, but right around 30 ounces loaded. Whereas this one is about 27 or so ounces loaded with 12 rounds. So when weight is a consideration, yeah, if you can get away with a bigger gun, always you can. But if this is in your budget and that's all you have, this type of gun, this high value gun, double stacked, you can see the grip is a little bit wider. The slide is definitely wider than again this single stack 9mm. Based on the numbers, it doesn't show as much, but visually looks substantial. The G3C is 1.2 inches wide, whereas the 43X is 1.1 inches wide. The numbers show something different than what you actually see, what you actually feel when you carry this. Yeah, it is a little bit thicker, about the same thickness as a G19 generation 4. Slightly thinner than the G19. This is 1.26 inches, wide. This is 1.2. So there is a difference. So when you're comparing single stacks to double stacks, there's always a difference. When you're comparing 2 double stacks together, it really depends on the model of the gun. So for this use, I would say this would lean much more on the concealed carry side versus the home defense side. Now, for this gun being pretty comfortable to shoot, comfortable in the hands, 12 rounds of 9mm stopping power, this can be used as a dedicated home defense gun too, especially if somebody who has problems, handling a larger gun. It just doesn't work out for them. They've tried it before. Maybe a larger compact or full size is just not working out for you, but you wanted the mobility of grabbing a smaller gun, still able to use this for home defense. A lot of people, they're in this budget range, about 300 bucks. This is the only gun they have. And something this size will fit you just fine. Again, most of the engagements in your home are not going to be more than, maybe 15 yards at the most. And you should be able to hit, human-sized targets with this relatively easy. Even in this short barrel, it's only 3.2 inches. Slightly shorter than the 3.4 inches in the 43X. So could you use this for home defense gun? Absolutely. Could you use this for concealed carry? Absolutely. So is this gun the best of all worlds? I would say pretty close to it. Because again, you have a double stack, 12 rounds plus 1, 13 rounds compared to 15 plus 1 here. So not much off in the round count. You can get, again, extended magazines, extended base plates, but the way it comes here, hey, you just want to buy a gun for home defense, and maybe later on you might want to get your concealed carry or license to carry so that you can carry one gun and have it all. Or, you can buy 2 of these for the price of 1 Glock. Again, all of these guns here are in the $600 range, close to the $600 range. This gun is about 300 bucks. So 2 of these, you can buy 2 of these for one of any of these, and have 1 to carry, 1 for home defense. That's always an option. Again, very good grip for this size gun. This is comparable to a Glock G26 and their double stack. Some of the other popular ones out there, I don't recall all of them, but for the most part, their Beretta APX carry, that's a pretty popular one. Any double stack 9mm subcompact in the close to 3-inch, a little bit over 3-inch barrel range, this is a very good competitor. I'm not going to talk about the trigger. That's something else for another day, but overall, this gun is very comfortable. I would have no problems using it if I only had 1 gun for home defense, and also using this for concealed carry. But only thing, a little bit thick in the slide, but that's necessary. Next up, again, this is a new class of 9mm. Again, this is not a single stack, not a double stack. This is I consider a staggered stack, meaning the bullets are not straight down and they're not double stacked closely. They're more loosely, again, it's kind of zigzag here, a staggered stack. So with something like this small, 1 inch across, you can see here, versus a single stack Glock, they are just about identical. But you have a little bit shorter barrel with the SIG P365, 3.1 versus a 3.4. But where this one excels, where this type of gun excels, something similar to this is, let's say, a Springfield Hellcat. These type of new ultra compact 9mm with a higher, more capacity magazine. These magazines hold 10 rounds. Again, here's an empty gun. 10 rounds in something this size. If you really wanted to, you can pocket this gun, pocket carry it with the pocket holster, but a little bit big for that, depending on your clothing. But if you were to holster this inside the waistband, I mean, look at the size of this grip, even with the magazine extension here, the finger extension. For the most part, I can get all my fingers on it. Now, the back end of the grip does dig into my palm a little bit. But again, this is meant for deeper concealment if you want full 9mm power. You can go with a 380 and be even smaller, but 6 rounds plus 1 of a 380 versus 10 plus 1 and a gun this size, which is almost the size of most 380 pistols, like the M&P Shield 380, Car PM 380, CW 380. Those type of sizes, they're slightly smaller, but like I said, those are 380 sizes, 380 calibers. These type of newer guns, very good for concealment, very good for deep concealment. again, the thing that you deal with when you're carrying is the length of the actual handle itself, the pistol grip. For you to get 10 rounds in a single stack, you can see clearly how much of a difference there is. And I can tell you, carrying this weapon, it is much easier to carry. It's also lighter. With the flip side being maybe a little bit more recoil, but again, with practice, that's not a problem at all. SIG did a very good job with the dual recoil spring on this one. It shoots just fine considering the size. And I have 10 rounds of 9mm, again 10 plus 1. Also rated for plus P if you carry plus P. But very, very, very comfortable. Would you use this for a home defense gun? If you only had roughly $500 to $600, this can do the job of both, but this leans much more towards the realm of concealed carry versus home defense. Can I use, if this was my only gun and I practice with it and I'm very comfortable with, could I use this for home defense? Absolutely, but that's me. I've shot for many, many years. It's not a problem for me to use this as a home defense gun. Again, got 10 rounds of 9mm. Again, with this size and weight, if I were to carry this, I could carry another 10 rounds in a little side holster, giving me 20 plus 1 rounds of 9mm. In a home defense situation where you can grab this, you can pocket a extra magazine, and if you need to clear your house, reloads are quite fast and easy. Have to slide, This can absolutely be used for a home defense gun. But again, if your philosophy is, hey, you know what, I primarily carry this gun. If I need to, I'll use it for home defense. It can serve both roles. So all of these 4 guns here are, again, very representative of the current generation of modern pistols, different sizes. If you are able to afford, let's say, a G19, Glock G19 for your home defense and carry, but then also you can afford the other $500-600 for a SIG P365 and have these two combination will be great. One for normal carry, one for deep carry. These two are my primary carries right now. The Glock being my primary carry. This is when I need to carry a little bit deeper, lighter clothes, gym clothes, sweatpants, things like that. And I'll even carry my Ruger LCP 380, from time to time, depending on the clothing. So it's good to have choices, but again, the point of this video is that if you only had one choice, which one do you make? Again, that's up to you. I wanted to show you the different sizes and capacities of guns representative of their class. Compact, compact single stack, subcompact double stack, subcompact staggered stack, very deep concealed the subcompact. I hope this helped you guys maybe make a decision on what gun to choose. If you have any questions or any ideas, give me a in the comments there. Again, thank you to our servicemen and women. Thank you to the Constitution, and God bless the USA.